Hello, I'm the Infinity Theorist, Quick Spin-off Enthusiast, and spoilers for What If episodes 1 through 5. Alright, so What If episode 5 was a really good show, a really good episode. It was the Zombies episode, and they're making a spin-off show about it, which I'm pretty excited for, so can't wait for that. And yeah, here's my review and analysis of What If episode 5. Okay, let's start with the notes that I took on the episode. So at the beginning of the episode, this episode takes place when Infinity War is supposed to take place, obviously. So at the beginning of the episode, Bruce Banner ends up in the Sanctum Sanctorum saying Thanos is coming or whatever, like he did in Infinity War. But then no one's there, so yeah, and then he goes outside and no one's in New York. And yeah, and then he tries to bring the Hulk out at one point. And that doesn't work, and what do you mean, no? That's a line that's from Infinity War that made it into this episode. And yeah, and then the Avengers show up and save Bruce from the Black Order. And it is not actually the well, it is the Avengers, but it's not actually the Avengers because they're undead now. They're zombies. Now we have zombie Tony Stark and zombie Avengers, and yeah. And yeah. So then the Watcher tells us what happened, how this all happened, how the zombie virus started or whatever, and so that is, I like the story, I like how they did it, I like the explanation, actually. So basically, instead of Janet being safe and fine in the quantum realm, she contracted a quantum virus that was able to, when she was released from the quantum realm, ended up being spread to the rest of the world. And so, yeah, that's how that happened. That's where the zombie virus came from, and I kind of like that. And, yeah, and so we see Scott and Hank get attacked, and so, yeah, the Avengers got infected, but how did Tony Stark get affected if he was wearing a suit the whole time? It's a nanotech suit, and it's just, like, Tony Stark shouldn't have been affected, is what I'm saying. He shouldn't have died because of his suit. And, yeah, and then we go back to Peter Parker, who's vlogging again, and, so, yeah. He tells us about the rules of the zombie apocalypse. But first, let's talk about Happy's shirt. Because it says that he's not single. He's saving himself for Thor. And it's just, I don't know. I find that kind of funny. And it's a good shirt. It's, yeah. And I feel, yeah, it's a good shirt. And then, it's funny. And then, yeah. So then it lists Happy as not actually happy. And then his skills are driving, coffee, and boxing. And the driving is obviously a reference to a chauffeur thing. And then the coffee, I guess, is, I don't know, assistant stuff or whatever. And boxing is a reference to Iron Man 2, whenever he was boxing with Tony. And so, yeah, I like that. And then this is where Peter introduces the first rule of the zombie apocalypse, which is always wear long sleeves, because that's the easiest, because they can't get you unless they, like, make contact with skin. And so if you're wearing long sleeve, they won't get you. Okay, and so then Kurt comes out and it lists him as resident weirdo, and his skills are language, Slavic folklore, and crime. And actually, when I first saw this episode, and I feel so bad for doing this, but when I first saw this episode, I thought Kurt was an original What If character. He's not. He's actually one of the ex-cons from Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and like, ugh. I forgot. I think I completely forgot about Kurt. He's like the best one too, right? Well, and Luis is also a great one. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, the next rule is hygiene, and that's where Bucky, silent but deadly Barnes comes out. And let's just talk about his name real quick, because his nickname is Silent but Deadly, and Bucky is also his nickname. That means if you say his full name with his nicknames, it'd be like James Bucky Silent but Deadly Buchanan Barnes, and yeah, that's great. Anyway, Bucky's skills are murder, a killer arm, and a heavy sleeper. And the killer arm part is great because it means that it means two things. It means like his arm can literally kill you, but it also means that he has a really cool arm. It's not kind of killer, and so I like that. Anyway, and then Sharon Carter comes out as the Blonde Bond, and her skills include spycraft, first aid, and eulogies. And that eulogies is probably a reference to when she formed a eulogy in Civil War with Peggy's death. Anyway, then Peter tells then the next rule is that they should always aim for the head, which is obviously a reference to the whole Thanos and Thor situation with you should have gone for the head, and then he does go for the head in Endgame, and that's that. And then Okoye comes out, and yeah, and it turns out their plan is to go to Camp Lehigh, and even during the zombie apocalypse, Happy is still driving, so that's great. Anyway, when they get here, or when they get to, I think, Grand Central or something, I don't know, Okoye says that they don't need horror movies in Wakanda. They have American reality shows, and she attacks in What If, she attacks America so much, and it's kind of, I love it. Anyway, yeah. And so then, zombies start attacking, Happy does the whole blam thing or whatever, and that's, yeah, and then he dies. And then Sharon dies. And then, there's a zombie, Clint Barton and Sam Wilson, and also Happy. But yeah, that happens. And then Okoye kills Sam, and leading to Bucky's great line, "I should be sad, but I'm not." And that's great. Anyway, then the Cloak of Levitation comes in and saves people, and yeah. And then Hope becomes Peter Parker's new mom for a little bit, so that's great. And yeah. And then on the train, when they're on the train, Cap fights Bucky, and that's great because it's zombie Cap and not actually Cap. And then leading to the line, "I guess this is the end of the line," which is obviously a reference to the whole with you till the end of the line or whatever. And yeah, this is the end of the line. Yeah. Oh, and then okay, and here's a great part. When Sharon becomes a zombie, or when the zombie Sharon shows up, Hope ends up doing the whole Ant-Man theory, if you remember that. Remember when when people theorized that Ant-Man would go up Thanos and just explode him from the inside? Yeah, that happened, but it was yeah, that happened. So yeah, okay. Yeah. And then Hope asks Peter like how he's supposed to, how he does this, and Peter mistakes it for her asking about the movies, but no, it's actually AV Club. He sees all the movies through AV Club, so that's canon now. But what Hope obviously means is, how does he stay so upbeat? And it's because of practice. And this is a great part, because this is the first time in the MCU Uncle Ben is mentioned by name, right? Because Peter says he's lost everybody, like Uncle Ben, Aunt May, Happy, Tony, and like just he's lost everyone, and and yeah. And then we get the great line, "If we don't keep smiling when they couldn't, we might as well be gone too." And that's a good line. But yeah. Then Hope decides to sacrifice herself when they get to Camp Lehigh, and that's great. Kurt talks about Baba Yaga, a witch, and that's also great. And then they meet then Vision's there, so that's cool. And the Mind Stone is what's keeping all the zombies away, which is just very interesting. And yeah, and when Vision explains this, it's great because like in the what am I doing? I lost the word. But yeah, when Vision explains how the Mind Stone's keeping everyone away and stuff, you can see in the background Kurt raising his hand to because he knows the answer, but instead Peter just says it out loud, and like that's a reference to real life, because a lot of people, including kind of me, can relate to that, knowing the answer and raising hand, but someone else just says it, and yeah, that's kind of some of the most embarrassing moments of school. But yeah, that's something, and you can see Kurt gets mad at Peter for that. But that it's funny. But yeah, and now also it's revealed that Scott Lang is actually alive now again. He's just ahead though, so that's great. And then throughout the episode, I'm just gonna say it, he continues to make dad jokes, and that is the greatest part of the episode. Just that's it. No, I'm not taking any arguments. The dad jokes are the greatest part of the episode. Okay, anyway, so yeah, Vision explains that he has cured Scott and all that, and that's great, and everything, and then, yeah, and then, Wakanda. They talk about how Wakanda is the last safe human sanctuary on Earth, and that's cool. And excited to see that in the show. To foreshadowing, but yeah. And then we see Bucky with the shield as he goes and investigates something, and it turns out, oh no, Zombie Wanda is there, and that's not good because she's very powerful. And yeah, and then T'Challa's also there, but he lost a leg because obviously. Vision fed his leg to Wanda, and yeah, that happened. And then here we go. This is the fun part, because Scott calls Wanda a goth chick, which is kind of interesting. Because in episode 3 of What If, 3 episodes before this, Loki was called the goth kid, and it's just kind of funny. Anyway, so Vision tells everyone that his actions were born of logic, which I mean they probably weren't. But yeah, that's something that happened. And they ask why Vision doesn't cure Wanda instead, but it's actually because he cannot cure Wanda because it's Wanda and her powers resist the Mind Stone because they were just treatment because the treatment and her powers both come from the Mind Stone, and so that's interesting. And yeah, and then Kurt dies, so that's the sad part. But yeah, then when they leave Camp Lehigh, Scott makes a Harry Potter reference, saying Wingardium Leviosa, the levitation spell, and that's something. And then Okoye dies, and then they find a Quadjet, which is interesting. Is that the same? It's probably not the same thing as a Quinjet, but like I didn't know Quadjets also existed as well as Quinjets. Like, why is 1-4 and 1-5? I don't know. I don't get it, but that happens. Anyway. And then Vision ends up sacrificing himself, but he did it the exact way Thanos killed him, by taking out the stone out of, just pulling the stone out of his forehead, and so that happened. And yeah, and then Bucky dies, and then it turns out Hulk is actually kind of zombie resistant, which is kind of interesting. I wonder, is he going to be back in the What If Zombies show? Because if he is, that would be interesting. I'm excited for the show. Anyway. So then before they leave on the Quadjet, the Scott says that there are zombies, there's impending doom on their 6, and then Peter just goes, actually that's 12, but yeah, impending doom or whatever. And then yeah, and then Bruce decides, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice myself and I'm gonna go out there and get killed so you guys can live. And so and then he's like, oh no, I can't lose Peter's like, I can't lose another friend today. Oh yeah, okay, well then just avenge us. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just do that anyway. And then yeah, and then we get a Hulk versus Scarlet Witch fight, which is pretty cool. And we also get Giant Wasp. And then and then we get T'Challa saying that how in his culture, death is not the end. And after what happened to Chadwick Boseman in real life last year, in August of 2020, that line just means it's so much more powerful now, because death is not the end, right? That line's in the Wakandan culture, death is not the end. There's like more the other planes or whatever, and that, yeah, that's, it's more meaningful now that stuff has happened in real life, and I just, yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah. And then they go and become the last T'Challa, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Ant-Man become the last Avengers at heart, and then, yeah, they're the only ones left. And then at the end of they're like, haha, we have all this hope now, we can save the universe, or, no, they can save the world, and then, oh no, turns out Thanos got here, he's a zombie now, and he has 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones, and you're bringing the last one to him, so good luck. And that's where the episode ends. Yeah, anyway, I can't wait for the What If Zombie show. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they're actually bringing back the show. They're bringing back these characters and putting them into the show. That's a smart move on them. But yeah, anyway, So yeah, let's go ahead and get into my review of the episode and title. Let's start with the title review. The title was What If Zombies, which isn't a very good title, but it's not a very bad title either. It's just, like, what if zombies what? I don't think it's very grammatically correct. So yeah, but I still enjoy the title, so I'll give it a go. I'll just go ahead and give it 90 out of 100. And the episode, it's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite. Obviously, my favorite is probably episode 4. But it's still a really good episode, and I'll give it a 92 out of 100, making the average of the episode 91 out of 100. And so, yeah, you can click another video. You can watch another video by clicking the top left, top right, bottom right corner of the screen. Or, before you do that, just click the bottom right corner of the screen to subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I'll probably have, like, so many videos out, on like, all in one day. I'm just going to release videos, like, every, like, 2 minutes, maybe every hour. And just, actually, I'll probably do, like, every hour for, like, a few days. Or actually no, it won't be for a few days. It'll be I'll schedule them for, like, because I only have, like, 19 videos to catch up on. So I'll have one video every hour for 19 hours just so I can catch up. And then that'll lead up to the holiday. I'm sorry, this is me just talking out loud. This is me thinking out loud. Sorry. But yeah, that's everything I have for you today. Goodbye.